Okay, question for you. Are we alone in the universe? That was the central question during the latest congressional UFO hearing. If you watched yesterday, testimony from former military and intelligence personnel focused on longstanding concerns about government transparency and was at times shocking.
We have absolutely been able to confirm the existence of some sort of technology that has the ability to operate with anonymity within our controlled U.S. airspace, operate over our sensitive military installations, and possibly interfere with our nuclear equities. Now, if that's not a national security concern, I don't know what is.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and aliens, government cover-ups, secret hearings. It sounds like a sci-fi blockbuster, right? But what if the real story here isn't about extraterrestrial life, but about how easy it is to sell people on anything when you mix a little mystery, a dash of fear, and a whole lot of conspiracy theory?
Author and journalist Michael Schellenberger highlighted that the Immaculate Constellation Report compiles detailed UAP sightings with high-resolution imagery and intelligence, providing a more comprehensive look into these mysterious phenomena.
Now that we have all been cautioned in this committee hearing that the mention of Pentagon's Immaculate Constellation program could put us on a list, well, I already find myself on many lists, I'm sure. So I speak my mind often, so why not just keep going with it? May as well just go all out and say it. The earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon, and Joe Biden received 81 million votes in the 2020 election. So let's just see how many lists we could get on here today.
UFOs, shadowy government programs, and even space armadas are playing directly into the culture of suspicion and distrust, one that helped push Donald Trump into office and continues to empower people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who spread extreme narratives.
I think I understand from this hearing that you would agree that classifying information like this is not in the best interest of the people. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, with the caveat that, of course, I would support classification necessary to protect secrets essential to national security, but I think it's pretty obvious that there's overclassification.
Overclassification, yes. And so in most instances, if they can't tell us what, do you think at some point they'll at least tell us why?
President-elect Trump has repeatedly committed to greater transparency, both on the UAP issue, on JFK files, on COVID origins, and many other things. So I think that we need to make sure that the next administration is held accountable for that.
Agreed.
Let's face it, humanity has always been fascinated by the unknown. The possibility of aliens and government secrets is thrilling. It taps into that primal question, are we alone in the universe? But when we go from curiosity to conspiracy, we enter dangerous territory, where facts become secondary to sensationalism and truth takes a backseat to whatever sounds exciting. Take the recent UAP hearings in Congress, for example. These are moments that could reveal something incredible. But instead of pursuing truth, we've got people like Lauren Boebert playing Marvin the Martian. It's like the four of the apocalypse are in control. Anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, 5G conspiracists, and QAnon diehards, all feeding into the toxic mix of suspicion and distrust. And what's wild is that Boebert, Nancy Mace, and others are fueling these beliefs, playing up conspiracies and presenting themselves as heroes fighting for disclosure. Boebert even nodded to some of these ideas herself, mocking mainstream narratives. But let's be real, her concern isn't for transparency. This is a politician who doesn't support health care, who doesn't believe veterans deserve better care, and who's aligned with Project 2025, which would strip protections from everything from Social Security to environmental safeguards. The irony here is incredible. The people who voted Boebert back in and others like her are the same ones who buy into RFK Jr.'s anti-vaccine nonsense. They believe in things like the decalcification of the pineal gland, this bizarre theory that fluoride in our water is somehow imprisoning us by blocking our third eye, a so-called gateway to enlightenment. Supposedly getting rid of fluoride will lead to spiritual awakening. It sounds ridiculous, but people actually believe it. They're convinced the government is using fluoride to keep them passive, ignoring decades of scientific evidence about fluoride's benefits for dental health. And then there's RFK Jr.'s COVID vaccine conspiracies, which are based on equally flimsy science. His followers believe the vaccines alter DNA or are part of some dark agenda, despite zero evidence to support these ideas. These narratives appeal to the same crowd that thinks there's a massive government conspiracy around UFOs, that the moon landing was faked, and that some kind of space armada or cube is headed for Earth. This is the same group that believes in deep state plots, dark elite forces, and government-backed mind control. These conspiracy theorists pick and choose their truths based on what fits their narrative, not on what's actually proven. Luis Elizondo, a former military intelligence official and UFO investigator, even confirmed in a hearing that yes, we did go to the moon. But does that change the minds of the moon landing deniers? No. They'll still believe it was staged because that's what feeds their distrust. This selective belief system allows them to dismay any evidence that doesn't fit their worldview while embracing anything that does, even if it's been thoroughly debunked.
We have a lot of former officials who have, gone on the record under oath and said, listen, there's more to what the U.S. government knows about UAP than what Congress is being told and what the American people are being told. Unfortunately, right now, most of what we are hearing is information pertaining to alleged secret programs, whistleblower allegations. And again, what I think many people want is more confirmed information, more individuals on the record. A lot of this coming secondhand to journalists, which again, unfortunately, given the climate and the nature of the subject, that's understandable to an extent. But again, I think a lot of people came away from yesterday's hearing saying we'd like to see a little more tangible evidence.
What's truly maddening is how much money is being made off of this. People flock to UFO conventions, buy alien-themed merch, and subscribe to exclusive insider content. The people running these events know there's a hungry audience looking for answers, and they're happy to take their money. It's a massive industry of conspiracy and paranoia, fueled by the very people who tell us that they're revealing the truth. And who are the big winners in this game? The same figures pushing these narratives and keeping people in suspense. It's easy to see how this whole system primes people to distrust everything from public health to government institutions, leaving them vulnerable to people who want nothing more than to exploit them for profit. They've built a world where the truth seekers are really just picking the pockets of people desperate for answers. But the real irony is that while Boebert, Mace, and the other disclosure warriors posture as heroes, they're actually distracting us from real issues. They've got people looking to the stars while they work to gut protections here on Earth. Project 2025, supported by the same politicians stoking these conspiracies, would defund public resources like PBS and NPR, cut Social Security, and strip environmental protections. If these cuts happen, the sources of verified information and science-based reporting will be weakened, creating an even bigger void for conspiracy theories to fill. So while these UFO hearings are fascinating and it's exciting to wonder about life beyond Earth, we need to stay grounded. Just because someone is calling for disclosure doesn't mean they're giving us the truth. And when politicians like Boebert, known for pushing fringe theories and voting against basic rights, are the ones leading the charge, it's worth asking, is this about truth or is this just another distraction? At the end of the day, the real story here isn't what's happening in the stars. It's what's happening here on Earth. Healthcare, Social Security, environmental protections. These are the things that actually impact our lives. And the politicians playing up these alien narratives are the same ones threatening those protections. They'd rather keep us guessing about space armadas and cosmic cubes than face the fact that their policies actually hurt people. The next time you hear about a government cover-up or a space cube headed our way, ask yourself, is this story truly about finding the truth or is it a distraction? Remember, questioning is good, but discernment is better. If we're too busy looking for answers out in space, we might miss what's happening right here, right now, in the world that actually affects us. So let's stay curious, but also let's stay focused. Because while conspiracy theories may be entertaining, the issues we face on Earth demand our attention. Thanks for listening. And remember, stay skeptical, stay informed, and keep your feet on the ground, even if your head is in the stars. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.